In this class, we're going to be looking at other prepositions like a, on, and de. Les prépositions sont une classe spécifique des mots qui a pour caractéristique mesure de faire le lien entre d'autres mots. Les formes ne varient pas, ils ont toujours la même forme. Ça veut dire quoi? Prepositions are a specific class of words which have a major characteristic of making a link between other words. So in other words, prepositions have a way of putting a linkage between two words. Their forms don't vary. Their form ne varie pas. They have the same form always. So whether the objects that they are working with are masculine, plural, feminine, it doesn't change. It remains the same. So let's start with the preposition a. So this preposition, I'll read. Il sert à introduire les compléments du verbe aller. That is, it serves to introduce the complement of the verb aller. Let's see these examples. Number one example. Aller à Paris. Aller à Paris. The complement of the verb aller is Paris because it answered the question, go to where? Aller à, go to where? We're going to Paris. So to form this linkage, you use a. Likewise here, aller à Lyon. Go to where? Lyon. So it is introducing the complement of this verb aller, which is Lyon. Likewise here, aller à Nancy. To go to Nancy. Nancy is the complement of the verb aller. Here, je vais à la plage. I am going to the beach. The way I understood this when I was learning French was that a is equals to at. Il habite à Paris. He lives at Paris. So not by. We didn't use O. No, normally if we are talking about country, you use O. For example, if I want to say I live in Nigeria, I'll be like, j'habite au Nigeria. But O is for countries, not for specific city names like Paris or Lyon. For countries, we use O. For specific city names and state names, we use A. J'habite à Paris, j'habite à Lyon, etc. A also functions as a complement of a noun. Il fonctionne comme un complément de nom, complement of a noun. That is to say that it provides additional information about a noun within a sentence. In this case, it shows origin or purpose. Let's look at the sentence examples. La salle à manger. Salle means room. If you now add à manger, you now have eating room, and eating room is equal to dining. So when you hear salle à manger, it means dining. La salle à manger. This is made possible because of this a, because in this case, a is used to show purpose. Let's look at other examples. Un livre, à lire. If you now add à lire to be a book to read, a functioning as a complement to this noun, un livre. Let's look at another sentence. Un cave à vin. Un cave means a cellar. That is somewhere you store stuff. Then if you add a vin, vin means wine. So this is at wine. A cellar at wine. What does this mean? In this context, a is trying to tell you that this cellar is a wine cellar. Un verre à bière. Un verre. This is a glass cup. Beer means beer. If you add a beer, you now have drinking cup. The a beer makes it clear that this cup is just for drinking. The avant here makes it clear that this cellar is just for storing wine. The aller here tells you that this book is something to read. The à manger here, it tells you that this room is just for eating. Then finally, we have une boîte à gants. Une boîte à gants. So une boîte, this is a box. If you add à gants, gants means gloves. If you add à gants, what does this tell you? It lets you know immediately that this is a glove box. A box for just keeping gloves. Alright, let's proceed. Still on the issue of a. A. Il introduit un attribut de sujet en utilisant être. That is, it introduces an attribute of a subject while using être. It introduces an attribute of a subject while using être. So whatever example you're going to see, an attribute of the subject. Let's see. Tu es à l'abri des besoins. You are free from need. So tu es à l'abri des besoins. À l'abri, at the safety. using être. At the safety of need, that is, you are free from need. That's what a is doing here, introducing an attribute of the subject while using être. Let's proceed. So here we have en. Ceci-là, il exprime la qualité d'un objet. So this here expresses the quality of an object. Une verre en cristal de Murano. A Murano crystal glass. Une verre en cristal de Murano. Telling you that this glass is made from Murano crystal. That is the innate quality. Secondly, we have une table en bois de rose. Une table en bois de rose. A rosewood table. Bois de rose. Bois means wood. Bois de rose means rosewood. So we have une table en bois de rose, a rosewood table. In this instance, it's telling you that the table is made from rosewood. This meaning is made possible with the use of en, just like in the first sentence. Second usage of en. Il introduit un attribut du sujet/objet en utilisant être. So, je suis en vacances. I'm on holiday. Je suis en colère. I'm angry. Je suis en retard. I am late. Je suis en plein form. I am in full form. So just a brief tip before we proceed, because we're already talking about en. Whatever you see en and le together, you have to immediately convert it to this s. In other words, never join these two things together. They are like the opposite poles of a magnet. They can't join. So instead of joining them, you turn it to s. See this example here? I wanted to say, je suis docteur en les lettres. I'm a doctor of letters. You can't say docteur en les lettres. We use S. Je suis docteur S lettres. This doctor S lettres means doctor of arts. That is academic qualification. Alright? So that's that. Let's proceed. So a little brain teaser. So what is the difference? What is the difference between verre à vin and verre de vin? So I'll just help you there. Verre à vin. It means a drinking glass cup. Verre means glass cup. So it tells you what the glass cup is meant for. That is what a does, as I said earlier. Drinking glass cup. As against verre de vin, which means a glass of wine, a glass cup of wine, or just a glass of wine. Verre de vin, glass of wine. Let us proceed. So now we are looking at the complement of a noun. It complements a noun. How does it do this? Let's look at the examples here. This one, la cloche de l'église, the church clock. So the is complementing this noun, clock. Secondly, les résultats de l'examen, the results of the exam. So the here is the complement of les résultats to the tune that it tells us that it is that of the exam, results of the exam. Still on the, so the, il marque d'appartenance. This is another use of the. It is used to mark belonging. For example here, le sac de Charles, that is Charles's bag. It is also used to mark origin. The is used to mark origin. We are done with appartenance. Now we are at origin. It is used to mark origin. La bête de Omaha, beast of Omaha. That is telling you where this beast is coming from. In this first instance, it's just telling us that this sack belongs to Charles. Le sac de Charles. It is also used to mark cause. That is cause and effect. Example, je suis transi de froid. Transi means chilled. So I am chilled of cold. That is cold wants to finish him. What is the cause of this my being chilled? It's because of cold. De being used to find cause. Je suis transi de quoi? De froid. So finally, it is used to express quantity. La quantité. Look at this sentence. Un camion de 15 tonnes. A 15-ton truck. Camion is truck. So see the quantity in this case. So that will be all for this class.